Listen, if you want to see the full version of this interview without waiting until part 75, hit the join button right next to the subscribe button and become a VIP member for just $2.99 a month. While you're at it, turn the red subscribe button gray and hit the notification bell. All right, non-VIPs, enjoy the clip. Right now, we know Southside to be like a pretty tough area. You know what I'm saying? When you were growing up around then, like that's kind of like the 80s, 90s. What was that like? What did you experience out there?
The same thing.
Yeah.
It was always the same type of time. You know what I'm saying? People just didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, because people didn't have the internet. They didn't have the gram. They didn't have 50 Cent. You know what I mean? So before that, I told people call me now, be like, yo, you been telling me about Southside since you was a kid. Yeah. I mean, when you grow up, Supreme Team was some of the biggest gangsters ever in the world. You know what I'm saying? They from Southside, Jamaica, Queens.
Absolutely.
So when you grow up just knowing that, and that's just a part of what your genetic makeup is, survival of that. And I had both of my parents, which was unlike most people. Most people didn't have both their parents. You know what I'm saying? And I also had sports. So sports and both my parents is what kept me safer than most people. You know what I'm saying? Because my father was crazy and knew that. You know what I mean? So it was a different type of thing for me. But Streets of Southside was like, whether people believe it or not, it was worse back then.
Yeah. Yeah, now I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? Like when they just did the documentary on the Supreme Team, they documented that they changed the outlook on drugs when the cop got killed in South Jamaica, Queens.
You saying that's false?
Huh?
Do you feel like that's false?
No, that's not false. That's real. It's documented. You know what I'm saying?
No. I know. I heard about that, the whole cop killing. But I'm saying, like, do you feel like it actually changed Southside? Like
yeah, because they didn't care about drugs back then. They was letting drugs go. Drugs wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Once the cop got murdered, the whole crackdown on drugs, it changed the whole outlook on the crackdown on drugs. And some of the biggest drug dealers where everybody in the city was getting their drugs from was in Southside Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah.
Fat Cat was the biggest drug dealer in New York. He's from Southside Jamaica, Queens, from 40 Projects.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then you had Supreme at the same, all this was going on at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you had everybody that was on the corner. Like, everybody had guns back then. You wasn't getting 3 to 5 Mando back then.
Facts.
Niggas had guns.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like they cracked down on guns. Now guns is back.
Yeah. You know, around that time, you saying that, because I always talk to some of my older dudes about that, like, now you get caught with a gun, like you said, that's like 3 to 5. But back then, how soon were people coming back home after they get caught with a gun?
I don't know, but it wasn't mandatory. Like, you got to think, niggas was catching bodies back then and was doing 5-year bids and jails was crowded and niggas was coming home.
Yeah.
Like shit was different back then.
Absolutely.
Shit got regulated differently after certain laws was passed and things changed. You had Giuliani, you had crack, you know what I'm saying? So you had different things that brought new laws and new rules, you know what I'm saying? And that was a derivative of New York. I'm just saying that South Jamaica, Queens always had a hand in what was going on in what was tough and rugged and the street life and the drug shit. Like, it wasn't just Brooklyn and the Bronx and Harlem niggas getting money. Like, we just move differently. Like, Queens niggas we ain't big on letting everybody know that we got money. We'll pull out a credit card.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas from Queens will pull out a credit card. Niggas ain't big on the money phone. You know what I'm saying? Not in Queens. Niggas is still wearing we wear regular jackets, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Pull up in something dumb, and you be like, damn, I ain't know this nigga had money to be pulling up in some shit like that. Like, that's just who we are. We not really with the flag. We got a little jewelry. I got Rolex. It ain't no ice.
Yeah.
This is my wedding band. You know what I'm saying? Like,
gotcha.
I'm not doing nothing crazy.
Yeah, it's like low key, but y'all still flexing.
Yeah.
Got you.
We way more low key than everybody else.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? You bringing up Supreme Team and all that. Around that time, you know, you growing up and actually being in the atmosphere. What was that like when they was around? Like, what was the energy?
I was a kid, so it didn't affect me like it affected everybody else. I met them later on, like when I was in my 20s type of shit. Like I knew Bimmy when I was young.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like Bimmy,
Bimmy was who I knew when I was young. I also knew Black Just when I was young. I also knew Preem, but I didn't know them like that. The only one that I knew like that was Bimmy, because Bimmy was around the basketball players. Me, Shaheen, Rafa, you know what I'm saying? Skip to my Lou, as y'all know him. You know what I'm saying? My man 40, shout out to Stymie. Yeah. Bunk and Kareem, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were ball players. Niggas bet for money. You know what I'm saying? Niggas play ball for money. So you get to know gangsters and hustlers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you do that, and Bimmy was the one that I honestly could say that I knew him before I was in the music business and doing other things.
Got you. Is there any, like, let's say, like, an interesting story you have? Just because I remember growing up, all of the people that we looked at like that, yo, we admired them.
I used to be around them. Like, Bimmy always tells this story. He told this story on this other platform that I stole his sneakers.
Okay.
Like we was at Liberty Pool. Shout out to Shaheen. Shout out to Snipe. Shout out to Deshaun. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was from Rochester, but I chilled with Liberty niggas. You know what I'm saying? My best friend at the time was a dude named Snipe. Snipe was from Liberty 170. So I used to spend a lot of time out there. Shout out to Buddha Bless. Okay. Bobby Chink, Mickey Rooney, mad niggas. Ferg died, the original Daryl Ferg. Ferg died. Shout out to Ferg. Shout out to Cripple Lou passed. Yeah. How, Terry Neptune. But
he says you stole the sneakers. Like, what happened?
We might have really stole the sneakers. Like the shit. You in Liberty Pool, right? And if you ain't from Liberty, you ain't going over there. And other Southside 40 niggas is over there. Like, you know, Bimmy pull up. Bimmy might have had the dope shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he put his dope shit down inside the locker. Niggas see other niggas is scared. Yeah, no. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't gonna take Bimmy shit. Like, are you crazy? Yeah. Me, Shaw, and Deshaun might have stolen shit. You know what I'm saying? But he always tells the story like, this nigga stole my shit. I got him saying, and I'll be like, ain't nobody stealing shit. I always tell him to this day, like, yo, it wasn't me. I don't even know what you're talking about. But he always hold that. Like, he ran down on us one day in his fucking car, like, yo, I know y'all niggas, the niggas that stole my sneaker. I know you stole my sneakers. I'm like, nah, nigga, what you talking about? But niggas like that respect the fact that you a kid. Yeah. And that's your way of challenging them.
Yeah, that's what kids do though. We all do little things like that. Steal from the corner store, all that type of shit.
You see this nigga pull up in the candy apple red Benz, and you know the legend is like, you know what I'm saying, he fucked with Tyra Banks and all these other niggas. Like, this nigga from my hood fucking with supermodels and all that. Nah, I want to rock with the shoes he got. Yeah. And what's so crazy, at the show that he came to, them niggas was there. I gave him the sneakers off my feet. Some shit that I had made.
Was that in like
that was a surreal moment because he was taking pictures with it like I was Jordan. Yeah. So he's like, yo, look at my nigga who gave me his sneakers off his feet. It was surreal. I got pictures of it and shit. Like, we didn't get the video, but that was a surreal moment for me. That was like a 360 moment for him to ask me for my shit and me to be able to give it to him right off my feet.